Boo Boo came on board, this team has been totally different. The chemistry works, everything works perfectly together. And we do have some, familiar faces with one another. I think that does help in terms of chemistry up there. But I gotta say, they are in that conversation, GB. 100%. They are definitely in that conversation, but unfortunately, this is the last stop. Results is what matters here this weekend. Nothing but first place is good enough for these teams. I can tell you that right now, because every single person on that stage getting on there, it's all they're thinking about all weekend long. And this is the time to do it. This is the time to shine. The question is, can G1 do it? And a hot start here will definitely help. On the other side, though, we do have Team WaR, who are going to be looking against their juggernaut, right? This is going to be really tough for them. But this is where they're going to be tested here, Bravo. What do you think they need to do? What do they need to clean up on to go against a G1 who's looking to prove themselves?
Yeah, I think they need to make sure that they're treating G1 just like Golden Boy said, right? As a team that could win this tournament, because make no mistake, G1 is certainly in that conversation. I think Team WaR needs to realize that's who they're going up against, right? This is not an early pool play. Let's see how we do. We need to start, our tournament starts right here, right now. We need to be ready for this matchup.
Yeah, we do indeed. And I think, they did the unthinkable in Orlando, of course, the clutch 50-46 win, game 5 over Quadrant, a lot to be said there. And pushing on forward into Orlando, G1 is a little bit of a different beast, but I think players, while she like Onboard, are going to definitely help to make that a little bit more comfortable. What do you see in this guy up there on the stage?
Yeah, when I look at Envor and this whole roster entirely, I feel like they're going to be fine during those chaotic situations. And I feel like that's what we're going to see with a G1 versus WaR matchup.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, here's this massive standoff, teams just waiting for something to happen. Both these teams are eager to get in those dogfights and just charge around and battle.
Tony will be turned. Maybe two-turn. Maybe two-turn.
Maybe.
Envor's going to add to that chaos without a doubt. I think Dave's breakdown is perfect, right? These are players that want to play this game fast. You look at Rami, right? You look at Devin. Doesn't matter what Halo title you're talking about. These guys have been pro players for a long time. They just want to hold forward, and they just want to shoot everything that moves. And Hysteria is happy to play that game as well.
And I think, honestly, this is the first time, and I love how it's the end of the road, that Team WaR have been present, right? We're talking about Team WaR on the desk. It has, I really haven't spoken about them much this season, but it's incredible that they're here doing it. So there's something to be said about the unexpected here for G1. So they have to be watching out for that one. So Team WaR can catch them off guard. The question is, will they do it? We'll find out right now with our casters. We have Goofy and Clutch on the mics. Gentlemen, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Lottie. I am Goofy, joined by my man Clutch, and we got a good series on our hands. G1 taking on Team WaR. Team WaR, of course, somewhat of a Cinderella story coming out of Orlando and stamping their way here at the Halo World Championship. Tell me a little bit about G1 and a little bit about Team WaR.
G1, I mean, they've got everything going right as far as the Super was concerned. The online performance from this team, and astronomical performance from these guys, but yet to do it on land, yet to really create that upset. And on the other side, Team WaR, a team that nobody really expected to be here, the leftovers you would call them from a lot of the top teams. They've somehow formed together. They've been able to make their way to Worlds with a few upsets in Orlando, and now they have an opportunity to make some noise here.
And here we go, game number 1 in this series, going to be recharge oddball, 2 rounds to win. You got the camouflage, you got the shock rifle, you got a lot of teamwork that's going to be needed to win the game. For it to grapple, we see some plays being made with all the sandbox and Halo Infinite, and this is going to be a treat.
It's the World Championship. Who's coming out swinging is what I want to know, and let's hop on board with someone I know who wants to throw hands in game. That's Tony Two-Turn.
Tony Two-Turn picks up the camouflage to get things started, trying to stay alive bottom middle, able to get out of there with the camouflage in hand.
What can you give me, Tony? Give me some light for Team WaR. A little bit of momentum goes a long way. A couple of kills will do a lot of work for them to get some confidence in this series. A team that considers themselves significant underdogs. Tony Two-Turn actually used to be on G1 before they replaced him with Boobadooboo. You know he has his eyes set on creating this upset.
Initial ball time into the hands of G1, but a few members fall. Tony Two-Turn takes down Swish. Big kill out of him. 2 members down for G1, and now Tony Two-Turn, a couple fights here. Squally takes him down.
Big win by Squall. I was interested to see if Tony Two-Turn was going to use that Mangler, break a GA or 2 here at the World's Championship. Didn't actually shoot the gun, so no harm, no foul, but we'll see as this grudge match. You know the passion's there. You know how bad he wants to create it. Will he be willing to break a GA is the question.
Squally putting out some good shots, take down Hysteria. Tony Two-Turn there for the double kill, looking for the triple on Rami, not able to get it. gets a lot of damage down on Rami, and he manages to stay alive here. One shot. Good job battling the life. That grenade, though, takes out Rami.
Rami trying to stay alive there. You would have loved to have seen him be able to control that Pipes area, but an even better job by G1. Squall Eye picks up a very couple important kills, and that's a player I have my eyes set on for as far as G1's opportunity this weekend. If Squall Eye can play as well as he has in some of the online tournaments we've seen G1 have success in, he's going to give them every bit of life to have a great tournament.
Yeah, look at the G1 roster. The name that popped off the board, of course, is Boo Boo Doo, a household name in the HCS, but everyone else on this team are such important parts of the puzzle. You talked about Squall, Swish, Devin. These guys are all powerhouses in their own right, and we're seeing it here as currently a control in the hands of G1. Nice shots on that player grapple. Ball back in the hands of Squall.
Yeah, it's a 10-second lead for now, but this one's going to grow if they can hold this setup. Camo is coming up, and Devin, he's in a perfect position to pick this one up. A great job to shut him down, not let him get away with that camouflage. But Team WaR need to break this setup because all of a sudden, a 10-point lead turns into 20. And with another round of slays, you're going to watch it jump up another 20 points.
Good rotation with that ball. G1 now in long haul. Gets taken down, though. That was Squall. Boo Boo Doo left in a troubled situation, but good rotation once again here into control with the oddball. And like you said, Clutch, you got to be careful if your Team WaR or G1's going to run away with this one quick.
Booba with the rotation. Masterful right there. That's how you play recharge oddball. I love that. Now that he's at the elevator, he understands, especially as Devin goes down, he needs to find a way to find some slays if they want to rack up any more significant time. So the ball, it's in a great spot, but they know that they can't hold on to it. Until they get a couple of kills, they do that in the kill feed, and that's Booba Dooba's signal to rack up some more time.
Rami being a nuisance towards batteries, runs away from the engagement, spots a couple players from G1, opts to leave that fight. Now Devinator on your screen, putting out good shots on Envor, keeping him at bay and control. And now he's going to rotate over, pick up the ball.
Just clear control right now from G1 is what we're seeing. It's masterful. The rotation was all the way from blue. Now we're all the way into pipes. And yeah, Booba Dooba is still alive with this thing. The lead now up over 50. G1 has taken over round one.
Here we go, Squall with the shock rifle. We know this man can put on a show. Nice snipe on the Hysteria. Getting a little dose of his own medicine. Hysteria, of course, known to be a great sniper in the scene. Nice kill there out of Squall on the Envor. One member down for each side, but control still in the favor of G1.
Yeah, Squall Eye can't quite help his ball carrier in Booba Dooba. Devin goes down as well. But it is Squall Eye that's able to clean up the trash, able to pick up that ball, and now with a 60-point lead, Squall Eye looks to push this round one to an end.
And it all started, like you said, Clutch, with the Boo Boo Dooba rotation, taking the ball from blue all the way to elevator, all the way to pipes, and now he's got the shock rifle, trying to stay alive, taking a lot of damage, manages to keep his life, though. Spoke too soon.
Players front, players behind. They tried to prioritize taking down Booba Dooba. Team WaR do a phenomenal job at that. But right now, Rami does have the ball in hand. Unfortunately, he's the last guy alive for Team WaR. He throws it right to Squall Eye. Great positioning by him as well. And they're going to clean out Rami and turn this elevator setup back into theirs.
Yeah, right on the cusp of winning round number one here. Only 10 seconds left to go for G1. And this has been textbook Halo, textbook recharge oddball right now. Great rotations, great teamwork, getting all the important kills and rotating when they need to.
A strong round one. You just need 8 points to close the door, but you want some slays as well. You know these series as best as anybody, Faisal. When you're looking to gain confidence throughout pool play, what do? You slay a little bit extra. You put your stats up. You build that confidence for more important series. They're going to be more highly contested. And right now, Squall Eye, now that the kills have come through, the ball time has as well. And G1 put an exclamation point behind round one. They start this tournament very similar to how we saw last time in pool play. Dominant performances.
Squall leading the way on his team, 11-4. Great start out of him now with a fight for the opening underway. Rami, great kill there onto Squall, able to pick up the camouflage. I'd love to hop on board with Rami and see what he can do with this camo.
We saw Tony get the first camo last time. Didn't really find anybody home with it. Maybe a kill. But now Rami with that same opportunity. Team WaR need to find a way to play from the lead here in game one at some point. Pushing this to a round three would be massive for them. And Rami, I like that decision by him. His teammates are picking up kills, but unfortunately they drop like flies right after, and he's going to have to figure out a way to slay on his own.
Rami has all the power weapons in the world, but gets taken down by Swish. He had the grapple, he had the shock rifle, he had the ball, he had everything, but not able to get control as Swish shuts it down. And now shock rifle in the hands of a dangerous man, goes by the name of Swish. Grapples over towards this area, pulls out the shock, trying to go for the no-scope.
Knows he's here. Can't hit the shot. The second one though, Rami, he's taken down. The assist will come through, and now Swish, although it wasn't a double kill, clears out the way for G1 to gain a significant lead here at the start of round 2.
Swish with another big-time shot onto Tony, 2-turn. Envor now putting some pressure down on Pipes.
Back it up.
Good job, Swish, making him back it up. Shock rifle still in the hands, and great control out of G1 once again to start this round.
Swish standing his ground in a very disadvantageous fight right there. Just buys his team so much space, does not give up that space. And Pipes, it's such a difficult area to try and not give up some of the space. It's allowed Boobadooboo the opportunity to make the play he's now made. And with that kill, they're going to sandwich this player at elevator. They're going to get a nice elevator setup of their own.
And once again, great timing out of Boobadooboo. Great kill out of Booboo, looking for the double, get some help on the assist. Once again, doing a masterful job of rotating at the right time, putting down shots when he needs to, and just being an absolute force on the map.
What teamwork out of G1 right there. That was masterful how they all stayed alive over towards the elevator. They slayed out, they get all 4. And look at Boobadooboo pushing the advantages. Can't get the triple, but it's because Envor backs down. It's not because Boobadooboo didn't want the smoke.
Bring all the smoke to Boobadooboo. Nice knife there out of Swish. Nice triple kill for Swish. Looking for the over. Envor gives it to him. The overkill for Swish.
Swish starting to heat up now. Shock rifle, camo in hand, the overkill in his back pocket, but he wants more. The first shot is a killing spree, and Swish taking over round 2 right now. This guy.
Great plays all around. Once again, G1, the time in their favor, 72 and counting, full setup. Going for the shock rifle once again. Swish misses the jump, and because of that, he's gonna have to take this fight with Envor, and not able to win. So a little bit of a slip up there, but the timer is still going up for G1 as they're looking to go up 1-0 quick in this series.
Yeah, Envor was actually the last player alive, so G1 did the rest of the slays this time around for Swish. He doesn't need to kill everybody every time, they say, and I mean, what a dominant round 2 we're seeing out of G1. Game 1, it's over, Faisal. 7 seconds, 7 points away from making that a reality, and they look so strong so far.
3 down for a moment for G1, so maybe, just maybe, we can see WaR at least, if not win the round, win the game, at least give themselves a little bit of confidence going into the rest of this series. We talk about that. It's so important to not just get blown out at the end of a game, and even if the score is lopsided, make some good plays, have some teamwork, and now that's what we're seeing out of WaR as a couple players down by that repulsor. Nice job, Hysteria with a big-time double, working great with his team, looking for the triple kill. Hysteria making plays now. Like I said, a little bit of a change of momentum.
Yeah, one of the issues is, though, is although that was a phenomenal play by Hysteria, too little too late, 93 points to 25 still. You're going to have to make about 5 more of those same plays in order to keep this going. A killing spree for him, though. The grenade kill staggers the respawners once again from G1. And the more this happens, the more interesting this round can become.
Uncontested seconds for Team WaR, hopping on board with Envor. Good real estate on the map as well for Team WaR. An opportunity to pinch these players in G1. Swish catches a grenade, but he knows he has Squall next to him, so fighting with some confidence. Envor, good job rotating here now towards batteries, picks up Devin now trying to find the double, not able to get it, and goes down.
I love that play by him, though. He made the most out of a tough situation. All of G1 was rotating to that side of the map. But right now, Rami's the guy to watch. He's got to get over to the ball carrier. And unfortunately, Boobadooboo cuts him off before he can get across catwalk. And now it's a 2v2. But one player has the ball. But now it's a 2v1 because Tony 2-turn just ripped off the head of a G1 player pushing blue.
And look at the scoreboard, Clutch. 93 to 80, and the setup still totally in the favor of Team WaR. We weren't giving them the benefit of the doubt early in this game, but they're making us eat our words right now as this is a really close game.
This setup has been everything we wanted to see from this series from Team WaR, but unfortunately, as we speak, the setup breaks. Another headshot for Swish with the shock rifle, and now just seconds away from G1 and in game 1.
There you have Boobadooboo not able to get the final second. I thought the grapple was gonna do it. This is going to be a big moment, and unfortunate deaths here. All 4 dead for G1, and Team WaR has the ball. This could be a miraculous comeback if they're able to win this one out. Hysteria rotating the ball over to Pipes, getting a lot of damage, and he goes down, and that's going to do it, I think, for game number 1. And yes, Boo Boo Doo, the man you expect to get the ball, closes out the game number 1, and G1 it takes a 1-0 lead.
All right. Where in the world did Boo Boo Doo just spawn? They were all 4 dead. And he spawns in a close enough area to be able to close the distance on Hysteria there with the ball. I want to watch the theater there because I think we just got robbed as fans of Halo from around 3. I think Hysteria definitely should have had that one. Unfortunate for Team WaR, but you have no time to really talk about that. You got to move on. It's a Game 2 Slayer, and to stay in this series, you built a little bit of momentum in that second round, but a third round would have meant so much for these guys.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about as well. The way they closed out that second round, they got to be feeling good going into game number 2 Aquarius Slayer. Obviously, G1 is such a formidable opponent. Some people see them as breaking into the top 4 of this event, right? Yeah. So if you're WaR, you made it here to Halo World Championship. You had a really close game number 1, specifically round number 2.
Okay.
Going into this Slayer is going to be big for them if they want to stay alive in the series.
They started making plays. And how did they do that? They got some camouflages, they got some shock rifles of their own, and they started to do some work. They have to do a better job of controlling the power-ups and power weapons against a team like G1 if they want to stand a chance. We saw that in round 2. We saw the work that Tony Two-Turn was doing with the shock rifle. When they got a setup, Team WaR was very successful. That one was like a 70-point setup. The best setup of the game for sure, but I mean, G1 just too strong, too much of a lead to try and compete with there towards the end.
And really, the God spawn for Boo Boo Doo Boo is what put the nail in the coffin, unfortunately.
I'm not happy about that
for the Team WaR fans. But we talked about it, Boo Boo Doo Boo showing us how to play oddball, how to rotate, when to help your teammates in this overkill out of Switch. I love the challenge. Envoy goes down for the overkill, big plays, and we saw him continue it in Turbine, getting no scopes. So big plays all around with that shock rifle, and now we got Aquarius Slayer.
It was good to see Swish get his hands on that shock rifle, because Swish, what he wants to do at this World Championship is put the world on notice for how talented of an up-and-coming player he is. He has caught my eye all year long. And now that he's got a great squad around him, they've started to build some chemistry. The organization itself, they bought into Swish, and he's going to give them every bit of their money's worth in this gameplay, as you're seeing already in Game 1.
Game 1 behind us now, hopping into game number 2. Aquarius Team Slayer, first to 50, will win the game. You have a lot of options to work with on this map. Biggest one being that camouflage top middle. It's going to be so important to control for either of these teams. But if I'm Team WaR, you gotta finesse a win here. You gotta get a Game 2 win so you can stay alive in the series.
It's all about the heat wave. It's all about those thrusts, the camo. And we all know how much work Dynamo nades do when you have control of the map. Let's see what Swish can give us at the start of this game. He's going to end up trying to push towards the corner. He's getting stuck here. A lot of pressure onto him, but we'll see if they can take him down. Just such a good job to stay alive there, Faisal.
Boo Boo and Swish going to work together to take down this player in the bridge. That's on for. He goes down, no problem. Actually, Boo Boo Doo Boo ends up trading Rami there with the heat wave, able to get out of harm's way. Good job by Rami getting the kill and sneaking out of there.
Swish got the information that he's in that corner. Is he going to know there's 2 players there? He does know now. As Onboard and Rami now stuck in the corner. A little bit of map control will go a long way on Aquarius. These angles are difficult, but the grenades are perfect in Team WaR slay out.
That was such a big double kill out of Envor, but a couple kills on the side of G1 as well to even things out. 5-3 early lead for G1, and Heatwave in the hands of Squall. Trying to stay alive top middle, taking damage though.
Squall out with the Heatwave. Trying to be aggressive, but these grenades, this setup from Team WaR, their situational setups have been strong throughout the start of this game. Unfortunately, they still find themselves down 8-4, so the disadvantageous kills that they've been able to achieve, all for naught right now in the score, because G1 starting to figure out ways to get their picks, but Badubu has 5 of his own.
A lot of Team WaR come up here towards the blue fridge. Envor stuck in a scary position, but once again doing a good job valuing his life. Camouflage will be spawning in 20 seconds. Boo Boo goes down. Devin is right on his back, so he's taking damage. Able to stay alive. No, Devin goes down as well. So couple big kills make that 3 down for G1, and this could be a good swing for the boys on Team WaR.
Yeah, this is the map control you need to start gaining a lead. You got to get information on where the other team is. And Rami gets that information. He's trying to be aggressive with Heat Wave. We'll see what he can do as he's pushing into blue.
Great flank out of Rami with that Heat Wave. Switches to his VR for the cleanup. Trying to find the double kill. Does get it. 2 members fall for G1. Camo in the hands of Tony Two-Turn.
Perfect. As the second camo comes up, they get the kills they need. They flush the map. They flip the map. And now Tony Two-Turn can rain havoc on these pink spawners with this camouflage.
Unfortunate trade there. A little bit too aggressive with the camouflage. Started things off well, evading damage and picking his fights, but unfortunately got a little bit too aggressive there with camo.
A 3-for-1 trade nonetheless, though. And you're now seeing Team WaR with the first lead of any of the gameplay we've seen so far. So a 16-12, although it was an 8-4 lead off the break. Team WaR doing a phenomenal job to rally back here in the mid-game of game 2. They're taking this lead. We'll see how long they can keep it.
Commando in the hands of Swish. Just trying to survey the map. Not able to spot any players, but as I say that, finds a one-shot on board, takes him down. Scoreboard a lot closer than it was a few seconds ago as G1 doing a good job to close the gap, and big shots there out of Swish, taking down Rami, who's leading the way on the Team WaR side with 7 kills.
Look how well G1 just played that situation. They trapped them in the base. They tried to come out pink. Swish said absolutely not. Put the Heat Wave to use, but more importantly, stayed alive and denied the space that Team WaR was trying to take. In the meantime, G1 collapsed from all angles, and all of a sudden, it's a tie game.
Dynamo grenades do so much damage. Swish able to stay alive, but goes down ultimately. Hysteria picks him up. Envoy gets one as well. 2 members fall for G1. Back and forth we go in game number 2. Neither team able to establish control.
And this is a moment in this game where Envoy needs to decide, is this team going to push this series a little bit farther than 3 games, or are they going to go quietly into the night, into the rest of the pool play drama right now? Because Team WaR, they want this upset, but without a strong performance from him, it's not going to happen.
Once again, we're seeing Team WaR do a great job controlling power-ups, controlling this camouflage, now in the hands of Hysteria. Known to be a slayer, but also a very smart player historically in Halo.
To victory.
Champion in his own right, won many tournaments in his historic Halo career. Now we're watching him here, the Halo World Championship.
Beat me about 30 times, I think.
Expected.
Was it? I had as good of a chance against Hysteria as you had against me back in the day.
I have to set myself up for that one, huh?
Always do, but Hysteria's staying alive. Really an underrated quality that he brings to the table, and look at what it's done. It's opened up the map. Team WaR have taken a couple of kills, and now they have 2 members trapped back blue, and they could look to get right back into this one with a significant lead here as they cross the 30 kill mark shortly, 29-24.
Big double kill out of Hysteria, stringing together some important kills here at the 30 kill mark. 5 kill lead for Team WaR. Runs into a grenade there, a couple weak. 3 members of Team WaR here in this base. This could actually work out in their favor as 2 members fall for G1, trying to be aggressive, and Hysteria and the friends make them pay.
Veteran play by the veteran, just back up, let them come to you. You know Halo 5 kids, they're gonna fly. They're gonna try and be aggressive, apply pressure. They expose that situation. They get the kills they need, and now all of a sudden, Faisal, it's an 8-point lead for Team WaR.
And we're seeing them gain and capitalize on their momentum. 9-kill lead for the boys on Team WaR, make that 10 kills as Devin goes down as well. Squally finally able to stop the bleeding. Swish trying to get this Hysteria finally off the map, but he's doing such a good job staying alive. I don't think we've seen him go down the last minute.
No. He's not even like taking unnecessary gunfights either, right? He's not trying to change the outcome of the game by himself. He's working picks with his team. It's a killing spree for Hysteria, but it's more importantly a dominant team performance from Team WaR. Their teamwork starting to click when they needed it most. And I mean, look at Rami, 12-7-6 to start off game 2. That's as good as you can ask from the young gun.
This is the moment in the game. If you are G1, you got to close the gap, and you got to close it now. But Tony Two-Turn has the camouflage with some perfect shots. Envoy with the pinch opportunity. Tony trying to provide some help and does just enough to get that kill. Great plays all around for Team WaR, and they could tie this series up in 10 more kills.
We talked they needed to prioritize the heat wave, the camouflage. What are they doing in this game too? They're doing just that, and they're executing perfectly. It is now a blowout phase of 42-27. Team WaR Made so much noise in Orlando, and they are not done yet. They want a statement at the World Championship about to tie this series up with 5 more kills.
All 4 members fall for G1. Envor playing with confidence, has the heat wave, pushing in to blue, just trying to find the stragglers. That's going to be Switch, but Switch with the nice brave to nade, a great heat wave out of Envor. Takes him down. Now working together hand in hand with his team. Devin catching fire, chooses to get out of harm's way, but no, they take him down. 2 more kills to go, and this almost was a steak dinner.
Envor on the prowl. Can he end this one himself? He's got the backpack to do it. Thrust, heat wave in hand. He wants to get involved. Let's see. Player below him can't hit the shot, but ends up melting. It's a kill before him, and Envor's going to stand up, let him know that Team WaR, they're here to play, and I love that. The emotion that these guys are playing with, let's feed off of it. Let's get it going. Series tied up. The upset is a reality at this point.
And speaking for myself, Clutch, I love having teammates that kind of wear their heart in their sleeve. They get excited when they win a game. They let the other team know. And that's what we just saw out of Envor, feeling great, tying up the series. And it was so close for this first half of that game, neck and neck. We were talking about it, and then it all started with that Hysteria life, staying alive, valuing his, picking and choosing his fights, and being such a hard kill. And that really opened up the map for Team WaR. They were able to win that game.
Yeah, let's talk about the light, right, from Hysteria. That was what Team WaR needed to get back into it. It wasn't anything flashy. It wasn't anything exotic that we'll showcase on highlights, and people will say that was unbelievable. It was good decision after good decision after good decision. And someone that's been making good decisions for about 15 years in Halo right now, continuing to do so at the world stage, Hysteria. Maybe not the best stats, but perfect Halo.
That's the thing about competitive Halo, is that stats don't tell the whole story. There's so much more that goes into being a top-level player. It's your decision-making, it's your communication, it's the stats that you don't see on the scoreboard. And I know, Clutch speaking, you know, we both were competitors, and we're such big believers in that efficient play style, and Hysteria.
Be careful where you go with this.
Hysteria showing us that he's not a one-trick pony. We think of him as this main slayer, but he's just such an important player in this game. He was such an important player just staying alive and valuing his life, and big kudos to him.
It's great to see him hitting this form too. It feels like it's been forever. I mean, when we competed, Hysteria was the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Like, he was the guy I didn't want to play against the tournaments, because he's not only hitting unbelievable shots, but it is that decision-making that we saw in that game too, that he was so easily replicating so often back then. It was consistently the right decision after right decision, and when you play against someone like that, the game is so difficult.
Looking at the series score here, 2-0. A couple lopsided games to get this started, back and forth.
Couple of them.
And next we got Capture the Flag on Bizarre. And out of the entire rotation of maps and game types, this is one of the slowest of the bunch. So it could play in the favor of someone like Hysteria, who we saw valuing his life. And we're going to see that come to fruition here in game number 3. It's going to come down to controlling the power-up. It's controlling the power-ups. And Hysteria, I expect to definitely have a big game 3.
Bizarre CTF is a really strong game type for G1 though. And this is the perfect game type that they can sit back and say, all right, we lost the Slayer. It happens all the time, Faisal. We talk about it. Usually those Slayers become coin tosses. But when you lose one, and you know one's at the end of the series at game 5, no more room for mistakes for G1 from here on out. You at least get a strong game type for your team as you look forward going through the series.
It's going to be an important game for both of these teams. And talking about the pools that these guys are in, they got Cloud9 in there as well. So G1, if they want to have a big event, if they want to have a big Halo World Championship, not only are they going to need to close this series out, but they got to think about Cloud9 in their pool as well. And we talked about it, you know, at Orlando, Cloud9 going down to E United. So G1 needs to turn things around after a tough game 2, and think about the big picture here, as that was not a good look for them in Aquarius Team Slayer.
And you got to think about it, right? Is it G1 only thinking about Cloud9 when they look at their pool? Are they overlooking a team potentially like Team WaR? And what that does for your mindset coming into the series, how quickly can you snap back into reality and get focused? Because right now you're in a bloodbath. You're in game 3 tied 1-1 with a team that you probably didn't think was going to be tied up. So we'll learn a lot about G1 throughout the rest of the series. How do they handle a little bit of adversity? You heard it from Formal in the process. A little bit of adversity helps us, right? We get that out of the way, the nerves go away, and now all of a sudden we're just playing Halo. We'll see if G1 can have that same mentality.
Taking a look on the screen, we got the boys in G1. They got all smiles. It doesn't look like they're worried at all. And if there is a game in the series that the quote-unquote underdog tends to win, it is those team slayers.
Yeah.
So I expect to see G1, to your point, Clutch. This is one of their game types that they thrive on. I expect to see them come out strong, and they play their advantages so well that on a map like and game type like Bazaar captures the flag, they're so coordinated at when they're pulling flags. They're so good at pushing their advantages. When they have rockets, they play aggressive. When the other team has them, they know where to sit and when to camp. And G1 is gonna make this game 3 hopefully take the lead here in the series.
Well, that's the thing, is the reason Bazaar CTF is such a strong game type for a team like G1 is because they are so coordinated. Because the objective on Bazaar CTF, in my opinion, is the hardest objective point to score in all of Halo Infinite competitive gameplay, because you need so much chemistry. You all have to be on the same page. You have to literally step by step go through the process of how to capture that flag. It's multiple rounds of slays as you're going through the double doors or wherever you're going to run it. So G1 specialize in that. That's why I think they're favored going into this game 3. That's why I think it's a phenomenal opportunity for them to get back on the right step.
Looking like a bunch of stone cold killers just waiting to get things started here. Looking again at the series layout. If we do get there, game 5 is going to be live fire team Slayer, but we know for sure we got a game 4 of Stronghold Streets ahead of us, and this is going to be a really pivotal game for either of these teams looking to take the series lead.
Looking at the rest of the series layout though, Faisal. Stronghold Streets, very momentum-based game type, I would call it. A winnable game type if you're Team WaR. If you can get some rockets, if you can get some work done with the Bulldog shotgun, you give yourself an opportunity for a game 5. So it's not all over here in game 3 if things don't go your way. But as we load into Bazaar CTF, G1 need to get back on the right foot. This is the perfect map mode combo to do it, but you need to see something strong out of the starting gates.
Got the rockets, you got the grapple, you got the overshield. And the opening start is going to be so pivotal in determining the success of this game number 3 as we hop on board with Envoy.
The man that stood up after game 2. Let's see if that hype can translate to the gameplay. He's got a lot of pressure on him. It is Tony Two-Turn that gets the overshield, however. He's already made slight work of Swish in the corner. Map control belongs to Team WaR early on.
Great start for Tony Two-Turn. The boys at Team WaR, 3 members fall for G1. Now all spawning back their flag. Tony just putting some good damage down. And able to stay, no, he's not able to stay alive. Hysteria had rockets and he gets taken down. So what started off as a good intro for Team WaR, G1 shuts it down.
There's a player on the other side of the map. It's Squale. They got behind enemy lines, got an angle on Tony that he didn't expect them to have, and that broke the entire push of Team WaR. So Squale keeps his team alive, gets a lot of that pressure Team WaR was able to apply early off of them, but we'll see if it can translate to any control, because right now it looks like Team WaR are able to once again get the kills for the middle of the map.
4 members fall for G1. No one on the side of Team WaR able to get a flag. So like we talked about at the top of the series layout, this game type, you got to do so many rounds of slays before you can get a flag cap. So even when you get 4 dead, if you're not in position to run it, nothing's going to get accomplished.
It's that coordination that you need, right? You need things blocked. You need the flag being pulled at the right time for the slays. And you really need to dominate the entire map for a short period of time. What timing Swish just got to be able to get behind Hysteria right there, and how will that work out in his favor as he gets great damage onto a second. The second overshield now coming up, and Swish has picked up not only a big kill, but an assist to match. Make it a second as that overshield spawns.
3 members fall at the wrong time for Team WaR, as overshield looks like it's going to go in the hands of G1. And if I know anything about G1, they're going to push their advantages. Once they get this overshield, I expect them to play aggressive and try to get a flag run.
See what they choose to do with it. Let the overshield lead the way. Squale trying to get into the tree, but it's actually Boobadooboo that's getting a lot of information. Team WaR, they have 2 players down. The rest of the team is going to be bar side of the map, and that's exactly where Squale intends to push with this overshield.
Flag has been pulled out by Boobadooboo, working here with Squall, but gets taken down by Rami, and Onboard takes down Squall. So great job playing defense out of WaR. That overshield gets neutralized.
Great defense from Team WaR. That was an opportunity for G1 to get an early lead. And we all know what it means to play from an early lead up as RCTF. You can virtually play defense in some of this fortress-based game type, so it's a phenomenal job to make sure that this game stays tied 0-0 for now.
Devin spots the player Rocket, tries to get the cleanup, but Onboard backs him down, keeping his teammates alive. Like we talked about, the man that stood up and got hype after the Game 2 win. Devin with Rockets now. See what he can do.
Finds the first, finds the second. Good use of the rocks. Hysteria in the corner. He's no shield, but no angle on him. And that's a very important job to just stay alive for as long as he did, because if Hysteria goes down earlier, Predevinator's already looking to be aggressive into the enemy base. It is going to have to be G1 re-slaying if they want to get a flagpole.
He grappled right into his own death, and Swish was there to try to help, and he falls as well. Rami now trying to get the third member down for G1, and that he does as Tony gets taken down. So a couple members for both sides go down. Hysteria trying to stay alive, so neither team able to really capitalize early.
No significant troll for either team right now. Team WaR. What it would mean for this clock to all of a sudden get in the 3-minute mark, Faisal, this game be tied 0-0, and then all of a sudden someone makes a play that gets you a black cap on the board to be able to regain control, to take control in this series for them. Monumental, but right now with the overshield, it's taken out, it's removed by just a plasma pistol at that. You try to get into the tree, it's denied access. It's Hysteria forced to relocate here front the base, and that overshield, it's mitigated completely.
Heads up play out of Boo Boo Doo, just making Hysteria's life so difficult. Using that green gun to knock down his overshield and then ends up taking him down. So single-handedly taking overshield off the map is Boo Boo Doo and making plays now, working with Swish. But Tony able to get that kill. Hysteria actually gets the kill, but good job by Tony staying alive. Three members fall for Team WaR, but it's all battles in the center of the map. Rami gets caught by two players. Now Boo Boo Doo throws Dynamo. There's a lot of damage once again to the center. Neither team able to push much past halfway.
Yeah, both just fighting for whatever control. Neither team really able to successfully get an opportunity at a flagpole, and the longer that happens, Basil, eventually someone's gonna make a play that opens up the door for a cap, and that could just be where the game's decided.
And Clutch, I'd love to go into an Astro listen-in with Team WaR after coming off a huge Game 2 win. What can they do to turn things around here in Game 3?
Nice, guys.
Top rockets as well.
And they shocked our BR.
Yeah, I'm on it absolutely.
Fine, they wasted shocks. I'm gonna go out tree.
Rocks and Obi in 15.
RBR on it. RBR on it.
One shot. Tree killed me. Tree killed me.
Oh, dude.
Watch our flag. Watch our flag. He's half. He's still
Still
being
guys.
I died, dude.
Overshield and rockets up.
only one our flag, guys.
Yes, good. One tree. One
Flag dead. He's absolutely
Flexible, you can jump up to him.
I got backside, dude. Tree killed me with OS.
I carry his
Top rockets with rockets, boo boo. He's outside rockets with rockets, boo boo.
He's still above you.
Yep.
Turn back. Okay, he double back inside now.
There's an OB on flag.
No more rockets.
Rockets are pillars. One was like our corner area, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
BR guys, help.
Yeah,
BR one shot. He's still there.
Still our BR.
Going towards our flag.
I got the one.
He's down.
OB our doors, dude. Still have OB.
Okay.
Trying to doubles.
Okay, that's fun.
No, tree.
Our doors weak, dead. Our bridge. Trying to stay alive.
One at RBR. With shock and thrust.
The bridge.
One at RBR. He's gonna push flag with shock and thrust.
Our front jump.
I got melee.
Shocks on shocks.
Absolute tree, guys.
Our shocks also.
One at tree.
Yeah, shocking him. He's gonna get a pull.
I got him dead.
Two.
Let's get some out.
Nice.
Alright, okay.
We have grapple?
Yeah, I do.
I have
They're back. One in. I jump out. One at the BR.
Flanking, I'm gonna spike it. The tree, they're back the BR. Spawn.
G1 takes the lead 1-0. Rami on your screen runs into a bunch of players, gets taken down. Tony two-turn falls as well. That's 4 members down for Team WaR. Let's talk a little bit, Clutch, about that flag cap out of G1. They had the rockets, they had the overshield, but really the MVP of that cap was Devin, staying alive in their flag and being such a pest and allowing his teammates to switch with the overshield to start the run. Then we saw the rockets come into play, so great execution out of G1.
Unbelievable by Devin to stay alive in that process. It was pure chaos, and somehow he kept finding ways to cut off the angles to be a nuisance. And when you get the overshield and the rockets, those are the moments where the power swing, the power curve can make the difference in the score. They're able to get that one cap, and they may be all they needed to end this game 3 in their favor.
Overshield just spawned, 4 minutes left in regulation. Team WaR in trouble right now. But Rami able to pick up the overshield. Yes, he does. Clicks it in. Gets a kill. Big plays out of Rami. 3 members fall for G1. This could be an opportunity for Team WaR to get a little bit aggressive here.
They got to find a way in. That's the thing. This is where all of their pushes have stalled. They have not been able to get in. And unfortunately, Rami loses half of his overshield here. Challenging a player. That player does go down though, so this could end up being exactly what Team WaR need right now. With 2 players down, a flag being pulled. Let's see if they can get it to the middle of the map and get around the slates.
Tony two-turn so important right now on the map. Needs to stay alive. He's the escort for this flag runner. That's Rami. Big 2 kills on the board for Team WaR. Tony does go down. He was the escort, but that's 3 dead for G1. Rami trying to get the flag through the double doors, but goes down to a grenade. 4 members down for G1, and Clutch, this could be all tied up.
Oh, it's going to be all tied up. They get the slays. Hysteria grabs the flag, punches it in, and we're all tied up with 3 minutes left. Who's going to make the play? Tony two-turn with the rockets. He gets them off the map. You thought he could potentially lose it. I like that play by him, but right now they're going to have to stave off another push from G1 because here they come.
Heads up play out of Tony, wasting both of those rockets, taking them out of the equation. Envor and Hysteria now trying to stay alive, working together. Running into a dynamo grenade, the damage is being done. Both members crouching in the corner, and their flag gets pulled.
They're coming in from both sides right now. The sandwich is here. It's a G1 sandwich for lunch. And to start this tournament off, they're going to need it. Because this flag on the move is going to take the lead with 2 minutes remaining in this game. Pre-Devinator and the boys have done it. They've got the game-winning flag cap in hand, in the stand. They take the lead here.
And not only... Great shotgun kill out of Boo-Boo-Doo, but not only did they get the flag cap, take the lead, but they still have full control on the map. Bulldog, overshield, spike grenades, everything in the hands of Boo-Boo-Doo. Map control, just doing so much, having such a presence on the map at such an important time with only 1 minute and 45 left in this game.
Look at Boo-Boo-Doo, 24, 10, and 9. As highly contested as this game has been, his stats are rock solid right now. So good at staying alive. He's got 2 players around him. Finds himself a double, adding to the tally. Now 26, 10, and 9. And the control is what he's focused on now. With 1 minute and 25 left, up 1 cap. Your control of the map is all you're focused on here, Faisal.
Could not agree more, Clutch. They're choosing to just stay alive and put the pressure on the spawners rather than putting themselves in harm's way to try to get an unnecessary flag run here. They're just going to keep control. Boo-Boo-Doo making sure no player OEs from the side of Team WaR and just playing textbook Halo right now, but runs into 2 players, double doors. That's a great opportunity for them to get some real estate.
You got to get out somehow. If you're Team WaR, you got to create some space, and they figured the double tour was the best place to get out. They find themselves a pick, and I actually love this now. They've created a little bit of chaos in the middle of the map. Let's see if they can get a couple of kills and potentially get a flag-tying flag on the move.
Hysteria taking heavy fire, top rockets. Hops into the vent. It's going to stay alive there. Swish now trying to move into the base. Takes down Tony two-turn with great shots. Once again, trying to find Hysteria, who finally does go down. So there's 2 fresh dead for Team WaR, and only 20 seconds left. Clutch, this one looks like it's going to be over.
Team WaR would have to do something unbelievable. It's an overextension from the shotgun area that's going to be the play, the focus. Envor, he's in the enemy base. Unfortunately, he's got 1 teammate with him. The G1 know he's here. They get the first pick, though, and that is massive. Faisal, the flag, potentially on the move. A couple more kills go in their favor as well. It's a 2v2, but 3 go down. It's up to Hysteria, and he's not in a place that doesn't appear to get another touch on that flag, especially with so many G1 members here to defend it, and that's going to do it for game 3. G1 take the lead back in the series 2-1 on Bizarre CTF.
And unlike the first 2 games of the series, that one was a lot closer. 2-1. We saw Team WaR have a few windows of opportunity to tie things up and to make things interesting, but that's what makes G1 so dangerous here at the Halo World Championship. We talked about it. We talked about their play style. They play such great teamwork-oriented Halo with a couple of main slayers on their team, and they did exactly what needed to be done to win the game. And I want to take a look at these stats if we can, when we can, because I feel like a few members of G1 had some big games.
Boobadooboo at 28, 12, and 11. We'll take that, but Squall and Swish, they both have 16 and 18 assists respectively, and with teamwork like that, there's a reason Boobadooboo is able to go that positive, plus 16 on the game. In a 2-1 game, you're that positive. I think G1's probably wanting to have a little bit more success in the objective department, but they are very satisfied with the way these boys are shooting.
Looking at the damage, Swish and Boo in the 7K club. And Boobadooboo, the story of his Halo Infinite career so far in the Season 1 has been a bit of a roller coaster. Starting things off with the FaZe roster, and people saw him as a little bit of the weak link. And when FaZe made the change and Boobadooboo ended up on G1, I had a gut feeling that FaZe was going to regret it in some ways, but obviously both teams have gone on to be very successful in their own right, and G1 just one of the newer contenders on the Halo Infinite scene.
Yeah, that FaZe roster, something about it just wasn't clicking, right? Snipedown was having a hard time finding his own. Boobadooboo was not the same Boobadooboo he was towards the end of Halo 5. We know how prosperous his career looked, but ever since they've been on their respective teams, Snipedown to E United, Boobadooboo to G1, they have looked completely renewed. It's unbelievable the performance he's able to do, and he doesn't just bring gameplay, he brings such great insight as a veteran now in the scene. Boobadooboo has been a professional player for 4+ years at this point, been through a lot of different ups and downs, tournament wins, major wins. He brings a lot to this G1 team, and it's no surprise that after a Game 2 loss, a player like Boobadooboo pops off to give his team the series lead back and to say, hey, guess what, guys? We're okay.
And the play style out of Boobadooboo is so easy to fit into any roster. He just is that do-it-all type of player. Snipedown, on the other hand, obviously a dominant slayer, but he needs to find the right spot to flourish. I think Boobadooboo can be put into any team and help them. And we're seeing it here with G1. He totally changed the chemistry of this team, and we've seen them be in the grand finals. Of course, it was an online super, but we know how dangerous this team can be. And once again, just stone cold killers. They know what they got to do to close this one out, and they got a big weekend ahead of them.
I'm excited for their weekend, man. They're the kind of team that I was always on, FaZe. We were always on, honestly. We were underdogs, right? Nobody's coming into this tournament saying G1's going to win this thing. Well, guess what? You and I got to win. Why can't they? They're good enough. They can beat some of the best teams in the world. Can they do it all across one weekend? Can they create that many upsets? Let's answer that over the weekend's time. What G1 need to focus on, and I told them this on Thursday, just get one. Get your first upset, then get the second, then get the third, right? Don't think about a big picture. Break it down one game, one series at a time. Right now, they find themselves up 2-1 over against a team like Team WaR. You got to make sure you don't get tripped up either. So close the door on this series. Do it with some confidence, and let's see you against Cloud9 later today.
Here we go, hopping into game number 4. Street Strongholds, first to 250 is gonna win. Devin able to get the Bulldog uncontested. Rocket still on the map, and great initial aggression out of Devin, able to open the map up so quickly. Great grenades, great damage. The Rocket player does go down, and Envoy picks him up.
I want to see Team WaR, how they rebound off that Game 3 loss, because, I mean, you build momentum in Game 2, you feel like you belong in this series, and all of a sudden it's ripped away from you in the last 5 minutes. Let's see if they can start off strong and build a lead and push this series to an unnecessary Game 5.
You know what they say about Game 5? Anything can happen. If you're G1, you want to close this out right here, right now. But Envoy and the Bulls and Team WaR have something to say about it.
Thrust and Rockets is a good start for the boy. A lot of individual skill in Envoy right now. If you don't know who he is, welcome to the show. Unfortunately, not much to see here this time around as he loses both the thrust and the rocket without shooting. And that could be a mistake that he thinks about later tonight.
Yeah, the thrust and the rockets, hands him over on a silver platter. The Squall just shoots a Hail Mary and takes down Tony. That's a good feeling. Now runs into Envoy Arcade Hysteria there as well. So unfortunate timing for Squall, runs into a couple players, and early control out of Team WaR.
Even though it hasn't been perfect, they have a lead. You don't have to play perfect. You just got to play better than the other team. And right now, Team WaR has found a way to successfully have a little bit of that advantage here in the early game. It's still just 29-2. You want to see them get a couple of slays. They have the numbers advantage, but they're losing strongholds.
Sneaky melee out of Squall hiding there in tires. Hysteria gets his revenge, takes him down. One member on each side falls. Stalker in the hands of Rami. Rotating with Tony, spots the player, bottom middle, but gets taking damage from Cafe. But doing a good job rotating, and now puts the damage on Boo Boo.
Rami's been one of those players that's just so underrated for so long. You feel this Team WaR team, probably his strongest team in his career. They want to continue the train that they started in Orlando, but it's going to have to come off of an incredible Game 4 performance to create this upset and push this series to a Game 5. Right now, the pressure's on BNC in the hold of G1, and more importantly, Rockets in the hands of Squall.
What was a 29-2 lead for Team WaR has been all G1 since. They've almost doubled the score, 51-29, and Bulldog and Stalker. Squall knows what to do with it. Good job taking down Tony. 2 members down for Team WaR. C gets converted, so great control at the midpoint here. Squall just surveying the map, trying to spot players towards Arcade. Does Rami? Does he gonna get the kill with that Stalker? Not able to clean him up, and the nade does do it. Great job, great precision. Taken down with that spike.
An interesting setup here. We have an AC setup for G1. It's not a very common setup. It's not easy to hold. You're seeing the push from Team WaR. They're prioritizing A, and this is a moment where Tony Two-Turn knows that the push to B is going to be where G1 try to focus, because this A hold is going to be so difficult. But no, he actually ends up pushing. They lose that push, and the AC hold will continue.
Clutch, we listened to Team WaR comms in game number 3. I'd love to hop into an Astro, listen in with G1 in this game number 4.
There's gotta be real.
We're gonna try to push you guys. I'm gonna go
Do be real.
Do be real. Tony, come on.
Pillars on me back here as well.
Front pillars to the tires.
Oh yeah, onboard her and tires.
Here.
One shot tires.
Tires be real.
Going for Rockets. Dude,
I got one.
Three of them. Another guy, blue gen and green gen.
You're all one shot.
Check
One
on him.
front. One shot above these stairs.
He has a 1 rocket going. He went up
2
to
big
me
stairs.
already.
They both went up these stairs.
Spike it. I have spikes.
Stronghold capture.
You real?
Yep. Drive with Rockets.
I spawned Ivy.
One shot. Hero. Yeah, one shot hero. I'm pushing. Sitting in the corner. Sitting in the corner.
Needed it.
He's in the corner. Your name. No. Right there. Oh, we got
Both one shots.
Both one. We're one.
He went towards red.
In red. They're trying to triple fast. Drive
Yeah.
with. See.
I'll still see. Give me a second.
No one. We're down.
Drive with. He backed up. One.
I spawned
Corner's up,
purple.
guys.
I spawned
Yeah,
out.
Go up.
They're blocking up plants. They're backing up.
One's our kid
I'm
still.
going to B. Yo, we can B.
Yeah, front A. Back A now.
Not pillars.
Mid with you.
You want tires, right? Tires, go. I'm
There
in
you
B.
tires.
You got a beam. One shot dead. Another guy plants.
One shot right.
Those one hit.
Dead.
And they're on. Comes with shot. He's going purple.
Green purple.
Shoot the swipes. Yeah, he's with the pipes.
Stronghold capture.
Run C.
One
You can
shot
see.
C. One shot C.
We're just up there. And purple.
I spawned B.
Could be Mando.
Purple one shot still.
See again. Purple still one.
Still one.
They got laundry going bottom mid. Rami.
Three bottom in.
Rami's one shot.
Got 2.
I'm going for triple. I'm going for
One
triple.
shot.
Where? Trying to
One shot might be.
Yeah, purple. They're gonna be PD.
They're gonna be PD. They're gonna be PD. I'm coming to you, Nate, front. Okay?
I'm going to team to watch your cross. They're gonna split red. Yeah, they're gonna split.
Guy going plants.
I have one.
PD one hit.
Yeah, I have 2 swipes.
2 PD.
I have 1 maybe.
Two PD, 1 plants.
Yeah, target shooting me. I'm gonna down. Yeah,
I'm gonna make sure.
Live.
Watch
They're gonna get A. There's a guy front green gen. Green gen
You're
down.
gonna left Evan if you're going B.
One heaven.
Here, one spawn drop. There's gonna be 2 on your green
Shot
side.
heaven.
Nope, you can B.
Go on, blue gen, go on.
Come back up. And A with 1 shot.
B or Nate. One shot, blue gen. Bottom in.
Rocks on top.
And a guy fronting on me.
One green. Laundry down.
Laundry.
2 spikes. Rockets are coming up.
Mike's one.
Nice. Rockets are up. One just one on board.
Okay.
I think he's PD.
Yeah, he probably is. I'm getting it.
Tires. Got one.
Figure it.
Two dead still. 2 dead still.
Getting it.
I'm going towards purple.
PD, I
I don't
think
see it
you
now.
can.
I spawned cafe.
I don't see PD.
Driveway, going in B and B. We're good.
Hey,
You can
driveway.
roll this
Like
too.
B twice. Should be one
Contract
shot.
with.
Stronghold capture.
Good music, right here.
Stairs. I got 2 first one.
I got his B. He hit me with that.
Drive by one hit.
I got his weak cost.
Drive by, absolute. Going. Planers.
The triple cap did so much damage as the score has blown open 209 to 72. Countless 4 downs on the side of Team WaR as G1 is hitting their stride.
Calm communication the whole way through is what stuck out to me, Basil. It was very level-headed calls that you don't really feel the pressure that the guys are actually feeling there on the stage. And Team WaR is giving them everything they want, but right now the score is saying otherwise. 230 to 72. This game 4 has become a blowout.
Slays on the side of G1, control on the side of G1 as Hysteria goes down so close to converting A, trying to get a quick trip cap, not able to do so. Now Switch looking to convert this arcade stronghold, trying to close out this game and the series as B and A in control of G1. A couple players there, B stairs. Grammy not able to get that kill on the Swish.
Remy goes down. That's going to stagger the respawn of Team WaR as they cross the 240 mark on the side of G1. They're going to have one opportunity to try and contest this situation. They're going to continue to score, and this one could be all she wrote with these kills.
The final push out of Team WaR, going for the B stronghold. Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo here to stop them with the big-time double kill and the reset. And that will be the nail in the coffin and in the series as G1 come out victorious.
The job gets done. It wasn't easy, and Team WaR came out swinging. The game 2 was a phenomenal win on their side, but the objective play from G1 was the difference maker in this series. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially with the emotions that Team WaR came into this World Championship with, but pool play's a long day. You lost a series, you're able to rebound, but on the side of G1, you're on the bigger and better series ahead.
And you said it, Clutch. It's pool play right now. It's going to be a long weekend, and Team WaR giving a statement, right? They didn't just get blown out in the series. There were some scares for G1. They got dominated in game number 2, so we got a long weekend ahead for both of these teams. But what we expected to see out of G1, a little bit of trouble in some of that series, but ultimately they were able to be in the driver's seat and close it out.
If I had to guess, if you ask G1 how they feel about their series, they're not very happy. They wanted to come in, they wanted a 3-0 against a solid team in Team WaR, but they probably wanted those scores to be a little bit more lopsided. Fortunately, they do end the series on a massive note in game 4. They dominate that, and that is something that they'll be able to ride into their series later tonight against Cloud9.
And you mentioned it earlier, Clutch, a bit of a storyline here. Tony Two-Turn, a little bit, it's been a while, but used to be on this G1 team. He knows those players. I'm sure he wanted to get that victory and kind of get that revenge, but you know, the players on Team WaR got to feel good. It was a close series, and like we said, it's a long pool play ahead.
We saw them going on an elimination bracket run last event. I'm not quite sure how the pools are playing out so far for them, but if I had to guess, if you lose to G1, I'm pretty sure they already lost to Cloud9. It's gonna have to be an elimination bracket run for Team WaR once again if they want to create some upsets. But hey, some players thrive in that atmosphere with your back against the wall, season on the line. We'll see what Team WaR has for us for the rest of the tournament. But right now, G1 looking solid, and they have a very important series later tonight against Cloud9.
And if Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo can continue to play this way, I do not want to go up against G1, even if I'm Cloud9. I know we talked about Cloud9. Have not missed the grand finals in any of the HCS majors so far this season. Will they continue the streak here at the Halo World Championship? Will they make it back into the grand finals as we look at the series score? Started off strong for G1, ran into a little bit of turmoil, but ultimately closed it out strong in that stronghold streets. Gotta be feeling good.
I think if you can preface it with anything later on for this pool B performance, it's going to be Cloud9 slipped up in pool play last tournament at Orlando. That's something that G1 know, and they understand, like, hey, if we're gonna catch Cloud9 off guard, if we're gonna catch them sleeping, not playing at their best, it probably will be Friday. So this is what I call like a free shot at one of the big 4, because worst case scenario, you just advance through your pool, the second seed no matter what. But there's a series that you get to play for the first that you got nothing to lose. So they should be able to play free flow. They should be able to put on a show and hopefully make that series interesting, if not create that upset.
Well, Clutch, I want to hear from the man of the match as we got Blaze on the main stage for an interview with Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo.